Welcome everyone, this is Shadow Coast with Shadow Coast Gaming. We are playing Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. We have bought both the reinforcement pack and the Broken Alliance, and we will be playing through that content. Now, in full transparency, I have and did post a few videos through the first, I call it the newbie campaign, and I'm by no means an expert at this point, so trust me, I still have a lot to learn in this game. But we are starting over. That campaign unfortunately ended in disaster. The Cylons ran us down, and I think we were on the brink of losing the Daidalos. So I am starting over. I've learned a lot, but I have a lot to learn. And we'll get started here. Now, before we do, for those experts out there, please post. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I have a lot to learn about this game, and if I can enhance the content and make sure that I'm providing best in class or top tactics, I would love to do so. So please post, and I always appreciate a subscribe. Let's start. New campaign. We are going to play on Admiral difficulty level. Higher resupply costs, more Cylon fleets, roam scenarios recommended for experienced players. And we are going to disable the tutorial. The 4 campaign missions, including the associated story content. So actually, I take that back. We are going to proceed with the tutorial. So this is a complete playthrough, which I'd like to provide.
After Vergon buried their nukes, the leaders of the 12 colonies promised we would never see war of that scale again. Peace would reign in our lifetime, and the lifetimes of our children. They could not have predicted the Cylon Rebellion less than 30 years later. The worst conflict in colonial history, and we are at a stalemate. No foothold gained that isn't lost again within weeks. The Jupiter Project was supposed to be our ace in the hole, the largest, most powerful Battlestars ever created. Each of the 12 colonies were promised one, in return for signing the Articles of Colonization. The first, Galactica, was Caprica's crowning glory. It went missing 2 weeks after deployment. Athena, the 5th ship to be completed, belongs to Picon. We were days away from delivering it when we heard the news. Picon's capital cities were devastated by Cylon assault fleets. Among them, our own colonial fleet headquarters. There was no chance to intervene. Command of Colonial Fleet has fallen to Rear Admiral Kane. Our mobile shipyard, Daidalos, has become the ad hoc fleet headquarters. As Kane's XO aboard Daidalos, you have been promoted to Operations Commander of the entire Colonial Fleet. Kane intends immediate retaliation for the attack on Picon. The war room awaits your arrival, Commander.
And with that, we jump right in. Now we have played through up until chapter 7, and we have done missions 1 and 2 for the Broken Alliance, but we will play through all of that.
Picon's Battlestar is almost ready to deliver, but Sinan says it can't make an independent jump until the fuel lines have stabilized. Kane's orders are to jump Daidalos to Picon with the Battlestar Athena attached ASAP. That means we have to clear the scouts here or risk telegraphing our movements to the entire Cylon fleet. I'll prep the deck crews for the jump while you deal with the toasters. Good hunting, Commander.
Now, one thing I learned, and I'm pretty sure this will persist through the entire campaign, is that any battle that includes the Daidalos, we have to fight. So we are going to proceed and do this battle and clear out these Cylon scouts.
It's time to make our presence known in this war, Commander. I trust you won't need my instruction twice. Tell your ships to move full speed towards the enemy.
Alright, so here you can read these. I'm not going to read them out loud.
Proceed when you're confident with your commands.
Are going to focus fire this guy down. Do we have any Scorpio shipyards. Alright, now one thing.
Our ships use fire control systems to automatically target and fire on any hostiles that move within range. Turrets will be less accurate the smaller or further away their target is. You can access a ship's fire control and check on its firing solutions for yourself.
Yes, sir.
So by clicking spacebar, it opens up a radial panel. So turrets, we can focus fire, which it wants us to do. We can not select missiles yet. Now another thing you can do is click T to automatically focus fire, which I learned. That is really nice as you were cycling through a bunch of ships. I think we cap out at 7, or at least we did for the other one.
Sir, we've got a new Daidalos contact. Daidalos IFF confirms the contact is a Cylon corvette. Scanning for further intelligence.
Now, once identified, select an enemy unit.
These Cylon corvettes won't hold up to sustained fire. Focus your turrets on one side to punch through their armor and destroy the hull. These ships also have long-range guided munitions, useful for softening a target before closing in for the kill.
We're going to send missiles at that guy. And we're going to hope that these missiles hit
Missile
this guy
tubes
in the
prepped.
front. But he will turn.
Missiles incoming!
Oof. Now we want...
Commander, your ships don't seem to be performing as well as they should. They may have system damage that's been overlooked.
So, repair
Tell the
systems.
engineering crews aboard those ships to hotfix what they can. I'll see to their comprehensive repair once you've finished with your engagement.
Alright, so they're repairing the, I think, tech bay for that one. And what we're doing here is we're going to try to focus
Subsystem repairs are complete.
fire this guy down. Our right side on this guy is damaged though, so we're going to keep turning him. Well, this guy's in a lot better shape. Now we can also check out the tactical map. I recommend when you play periodically, you just open it up to see where your ships are. One thing you'll note is that if you're not actively giving a command to a ship, it's going to keep moving in the general direction you last pointed it in. That's important because ships can and will collide and blow up. So don't make that mistake. I made that mistake a few times in that initial learning campaign I started, which was not a good scenario. Now we're presenting our left side to absorb some damage there. And one thing you can do too, on any given ship, if you click turrets, you can see where the turrets are. So for manticores, they are in the front and the back, right? So what I'm doing here is by turning this way, presenting the back, that will help me continue to fire on him while presenting my rear armor, which has 29. One turn for guided missiles. What I'd like to do here is continue to fire on this guy. So what you should see happen here, if I'm not mistaken, these turrets I thought would fire from behind given the angles, but maybe
Understood.
not. Now this guy has no armor on top.
Yes, Commander.
We are above him. Let me see, the right side, the left side. So we're picking this angle because we want our left side presented to the enemy.
On it, Commander.
And
Missiles incoming!
firing missiles. Chasing, we're rotating, so the right side again has more damage. So I'm gonna turn and present my left side here.
Understood.
So we're just kinda... Now his rear has been damaged.
Manticore is taking damage.
Now this guy's front is damaged, so we want to face him in front. And we're gonna turn this guy here. Now his left side, our front on this Manticore is 44, although he's hitting the bottom because he's under us, which is 23. So what we're gonna want to do here, guys, is
Understood.
try to get him down to the same elevation. Now here our rear is damaged, but our bottom has 18. Our front has 40. So again, we're gonna try to get him, and we still have one turn for missiles to reload. So we're pounding away at this guy. We're focusing fire on him, and he should be taken out, which leaves this guy whose rear and top and rear have been heavily damaged. We're going to want to stay on the same plane as him,
So say we all.
because our rear and our right, rear, and bottom have sustained damage for our leading one. We also have
Missile
missiles
tubes
back
prepped.
up, so we will use those. So these are things that I had to learn the hard way, making sure you rotate. Now another thing you'll see here that I just did was I didn't align my guys up right. So missiles will hit if they impact something, it will blow up. So I just damaged my bottom and rear. I think it was actually the rear armor there, because my missiles hit it. Same goes for collisions. You can collide with the enemy.
On it, Commander.
Now these missiles are coming for my guy. If we look at the top has 35, which is the most. So we're going to try to get low and tank from the top, or have it hit our top armor. He's turning around. It's probably going to hit his... Let's see.
Missiles incoming! All hostile contacts are down. We
All right.
recorded a vid-feed of the battle if the commander would like to replay the fleet's performance.
Now one thing I like, so we have, each one has 1 kill. We do have some damage, so we're gonna have to repair that. One thing I like about the game is you can do a video replay, which basically you can replay the battle in steady or real time, which is interesting to watch. So here you can see we were trying to focus fire this guy. We were hitting him. You can see we missed a few. We can review our accuracy, so that'll have to do with distance, part of it, and part of it will be having officers in your fleet and assigned to ships. They can improve different aspects of your fleet. So your fleet size, they can also impact, you have other bonuses. Some of them have like plus Tilium, which is the build cost resource. There is also requisition points, which are leveraged to research new ships. They also are used to upgrade or promote officers, and I think you can do a few other things with them, but I will have to get into it later into the campaign and see. Those are the 2 big ones. So Tilium is used to build ships, build ship costs. Requisition points are used to promote officers. Assign officers, that was another thing it cost. That cost, I think, actually cost Tilium. We'll have to look. In requisition points, promote officers, and unlock research. So we were rotating our ships around, trying to take damage on different sides to keep the ship alive. And here we sustain fire at them. Now one thing, the Nemesis, that's the class of ship. So we're in Manticores, which are corvettes. Those are our kind of initial corvettes, initial ships. The enemy, that's the Nemesis, which I think is equivalent to a corvette. They can actually hack us, and we'll see that in the next mission. Now here you see how I actually hit, so I hit the top I was mistaken. It looks like I hit the top because I was in the way. You want to spread out your ships to a certain degree to make sure that you minimize any or remove any possibility of friendly fire. So now let's see. So Daidalos, the shipyard, it does have a turret, but it doesn't. It's very close range and it's kind of useless. I don't recommend relying on it too heavily. As we progress, maybe we'll feel differently, but right now I like to keep it back and safe. So accuracy 64%, total damage inflicted, munition damage inflicted, subsystems repaired, so 64, 68%. This one did take some damage. So we will continue with this
Congratulations, Commander.
tutorial.
But we still have work to do.
Alright, so this is the strategy index. We can kind of walk around it, which is cool. Zoom in, hover over planets. There are 12 planets. One thing that's cool, which we can't see yet, is intelligence. I think it'll unlock as we go. So from the strategy index, you can manage your fleet, view mission briefings, and find locations on the table. To access a mission briefing, select it from the strategy index or click on the mission marker. So down top left, there are
Her
missions.
stomping boots on.
Here we go.
Started shelling out orders before she'd even finished sticking the admiral pin to her jacket. She's out to prove she's ready for the top job of colonial fleet. Can't feel good to earn that promotion off the back of your superior's bad luck. But we've all lost someone in this war, I guess. My sister was on Galactica before it disappeared. Picon's government is blaming Kane for not delivering Athena earlier. Both she and Sinan won't be happy until we've delivered all 12 of the Jupiters to the colonies. Well, at least we'll get to see Athena clear out some toasters before we hand her over to Picon. Daidalos is ready to jump on your command, sir.
Alright, so there we have it. We have our next mission. So what you can do here is just talk through the mission. The FTL drive for the Jupiter-class Battlestar Athena is not yet complete. Cylon cleanup crews are expected at the LZ, but reports show most of the assault fleets have already left the area. Here we get 470 Tilium, so that's used to build ships, and 175 requisition points. That is used to promote officers and unlock blueprints, which is our research. So we can't click on these two things. Selectively, Daidalos.
Our ships took a few hits during that fight. We should have the crew do some repairs before we move on.
So we will repair, and then when you select the fleet, so we can create other fleets, we can then click jump, and here it looks like we can jump right to our next mission, which is at Picon. So let's confirm jump. We can rotate the camera around. And let's see, we can't click on anything else. So you have to end your turn to jump. This is a turn-based game, if you haven't noticed that yet. And here we have to click proceed to actually start that mission. You do have options to postpone, but you have to resolve any primary or secondary mission. So by secondary mission, there are random missions that pop up that'll give you Tilium requisition points that you can complete, as well as we do have the Broken Alliance DLC pack, so there are specific missions as part of that DLC. Alright, so click on a unit. Let's stay there. Click on a unit projection to reposition your fleet during FTL insertion. Orbit the FTL insertion grid by holding the right mouse button, so we can kind of look around. Now, as we look around, what we notice here is that we have an enemy right in front of us and to our right. As we spin around, sometimes we will have information, sometimes we won't. And then you can see there's one on to the left. So we have 3 enemies coming in at us. So how do we want to handle this? I think we want to not put that there. Having some trouble. So our strategy right here is to try to take out this guy to the right first. So we're gonna jump over there.
Fleet
Now,
group is jumping
I don't
in
think it'll
3,
let you jump
2,
with red, because then you
1.
just blow up your own ships. You can collide your ships and have them blow up.
Jump complete. Daidalos contacts bearing 017, Karam 021.
Picon and the rest of the 12 colonies are watching our every move, Commander. Some would see colonial fleet fail. Ensure we succeed.
No pressure, sir. No pressure at all.
I like Kalena. Alright, so it looks like we get to use, well, not looks like, I know we get to use the Battlestar we plan on delivering.
So say we all.
What I'm going to do here is move, and I kind of knew that, so that's why I positioned the Daidalos a little further, or a little closer to battle, when normally we'd have it be in the middle or towards the back. That's just because I want to eliminate this guy as fast as possible, and then move on to these other two. Now, one thing we can do here is posturing and boost thrusters, which I guess I'll take a look at right now. So one thing you can do is you can boost the speed. So when we boost the speed, our turn arc is lower, but the length of where we can go is longer, right? So we can go further forward, but we can't really turn, which makes sense. When we don't boost, we don't move as far, but we can turn more. We can also move posturing, so it can be defensive, offensive. Right now we're going to leave it in the middle. You might move one way or the other. So we come in, we know this is a Nemesis.
Ships are not lifeless assets to needlessly throw at the enemy, Commander. Adjust a ship's posture to tailor the crew's tactics, so that you can match whatever opposition you encounter.
Alright, so hold on. Who took some damage?
On it, Commander.
Did any of you? No, none of you did. So we
A
go to
defensive posture ensures the ship's defense-oriented subsystems are more efficient. Likewise, an aggressive posture will boost the ship's offensive capabilities at the expense of the ship's defenses.
Alright, so posturing, that's great
On
to
it,
know.
Commander.
Now we're going to actually launch all
Launching alert,
squadrons,
Vipers.
and your Daidalos does have 2 squadrons of Vipers, so I always recommend
So
the
say
first
we
thing
all.
you do, which I did not do there, was launch your Vipers. You want them out on the field, they can do damage to the
tubes
ship.
prepped.
But more importantly, if you look at it here, they have Warp Driver Squadron, they have enemy fighters. And those enemy fighters, they do a little damage, but they get in wherever your armor is not, right? So if you take damage in the back or the front, they're going to make runs. Now, they can make runs from any direction and tear down your armor, but normally you take damage in the front or the back. They're going to make runs on that, and that damage will build up over time. They also have heavy squadrons, which can board you, disrupt you, and do a bunch of stuff. And I think in this mission, we are going to see some hacking. There we go. They're working on hacking us now. Now for the Battlestar, I'm trying to keep the Battlestar a little bit
Hostile
lower.
unit identified. Commander, receiving word from Athena's CAG. Their alert Vipers are online and ready to return hostilities.
Now what we're going to do here is select the Battlestar Athena and press space to access ship command, squadrons. So we already launched them. And what we can do with squadrons is actually assign them into groups to make it easier. So here you can see they're group 1, and all we need to now do is
Squadron target is confirmed.
give one of the people in the squadron a mission or a target. So here we're going to do blue squadron, assign group blue squadron, and let's select your target. What is that? Something else over there. So we're gonna have you take out their fighters. Now we are getting hacked. which is not good. So our hope is that we can blow them up before they finish hacking us.
Fighter squadron is taking fire.
Now you can see those enemy fighters are working on hacking us, but we just took them out. Now
Use squadrons to hit priority targets or defend any of our own capitals. You can recall a squadron back to its carrier if the situation begins to deteriorate.
Yes, sir.
So press space action squadron command, select target. Let's see. There between these two targets. Let's take this target out. Now one thing we can do here,
So say we all.
oh, we still have missiles to fire, so let's fire them. Now another thing we can do,
On it, Commander.
so you see that red? That means we're gonna make contact. We definitely do not want to run into our Battlestar. Now one thing we can do with the Battlestar, which we can't do with our other things, is flak. Flak, friendly squadron active, that's okay. Our squadrons are out here. Flak will help us take these missiles out, hopefully. So when you get Battlestars, so you'll see I'm moving these guys down, under, and hopefully we don't make contact.
Missiles incoming!
So you see that flak, how it took out those missiles? We no longer have to worry about those missiles.
Yes, sir.
Which is fantastic. And we're going to keep it for one turn because I don't know if there are more missiles. Alright, now the other thing that we learned is we can click T to priority target. We are going to focus fire on that guy. The challenge with flak though is I think we can damage our own fighters, and we can also take out our own missiles. So that's just important to note. So we're going to cancel flak, and our turrets are going to focus fire on this guy. The Nemesis can unfortunately hack us, so we are going to take him out. Now the reason we don't want to get hacked by the Nemesis
Understood.
is because it can take our, let's see, what can they do? I'll show you guys. They can repair subsystems, take out fire control. Without fire control, we can't use turrets, we can't fire missiles. Therefore, we can't do damage. And they're actually hacking our Manticore, or he's trying to hack our Manticore. Now, I think I was high enough, although I don't know if our Battlestar, I think one of the missiles hit our Battlestar, so that was not a good...
Commander, I've asked Sinan if there is any way we can stop those Cylon tech ships from hacking our systems, but he's being stubborn.
We've already minimized onboard networking. Your firewall should keep them out for a while. Otherwise, take the subsystem offline for repairs if they cause too much damage.
Or you can rely on the tried and tested method of shooting the Cylons down before they get the chance. Battlestars are equipped to accommodate flak ammunition. Use this to zone out fighters and incoming munitions.
Alright, that's great. They read my mind. That's exactly what we were doing.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, so let's see. Flak. We're going to put it to the right, since we've already used it to successfully take out. Now, one of the things we have to understand too is, and ideally I would have launched missiles there from our Battlestar, it just didn't give me the option.
Missiles on their way.
Because it's teaching us how to play. Although I already had several hours of gameplay under my belt to learn these things in both this tutorial and also the hard way.
Sir.
Cancel flak. If we click H, we can quick link it. Now down here you can see their commands to do different things. Front right, the right side is damaged. We will continue to shoot. Now each ship, beautiful. Each ship has different weapons on.
This is cold. All hostile contacts are cleared.
If you're finished playing with Picon's toy, I believe it's time to hand Athena over to their defense ministry.
They've already been notified, Sinan. Commander, there's something else. We're having some difficulty with Daidalos' navigation computers. It'll be easier to explain from the war room.
Alright, so we're just going to replay and watch this. So one concept, focus fire. Make sure you spread out your ships to a certain degree so missiles don't hit each other, and you obviously don't want to ever collide. So we shifted to the right to take this guy on. Now we don't start with a Battlestar, unfortunately. I mean, we started here, but we're giving it to Picon, so they have a mighty ship to use to defend themselves from these blasted Cylons. And it's a pretty darn good ship. We would love a Jupiter-class Battlestar for ourselves. You could see there we use the flak to take out incoming missiles. Unfortunately, I think we took one, or we tanked one of our own missiles that we shot. So don't do that. Okay, so I'm not sure what happened. I guess we didn't hit. I don't know why there are only 3. Normally it fires 4. Something must have happened. Alright, so you can see our fighters are coming in. They like to make runs from behind. I think they do tend to try to pick weak points. And they add up. That damage adds up. So if you have enemy fighters on you, make sure you take them out. And great, our Manticore each got a kill. Our fighters must have got that last kill.
Admiral, Commander, we have a problem. The Idris relay that we use to outsource our jump calculations is malfunctioning.
Malfunctioning. What's our effective jump distance?
It's difficult to estimate with just the onboard computers. The red line extends beyond Helios Alpha, but we'd probably need an intermediary jump to get anywhere significant outside of the system.
This is what an ambush looks like, Commander. Find us a way back to Helios Gamma immediately. I want Daidalos under the cover of Ragnar's clouds before the Cylons can attack.
Commander, we're going to need more ships. Sinan's taken up yards 1 and 2 for the Jupiter-class Battlestars, and we're only prepped to crunch Manticores right now.
The floor crews are changing their build priorities as we speak. There's no use having a half-built Battlestars if we can't defend them.
Alright, so this is how we build ships. We click on ship builds. Here we have 2 now. The reinforcement pack, I believe, allows us to build the Berserk, which normally you cannot build. So we're going to build a Manticore.
Okay, we've got the Manticore hull underway, but let's push its fit out and training schedule forward.
Alright, we rushed it.
Your brand new Manticore is awaiting your orders, Commander.
Now we can, so when you finish a ship, just so you guys know, it pops out here. So it's not part of a fleet. So you have to transfer it into a fleet. You can and will have fleets that are not part of Daidalos.
The satellite at Caprica Terminal may be the source of the Idris interference affecting our jump distance. I have the briefing packet ready.
Alright, so we can either click down here to start it. Now, we are going to cut this into, I guess, the tutorial into a 2-part series. So this was mission, or chapter 1 and 3, or missions 1 and 3 of the main campaign in the tutorial. Please catch us in the next one. If you like what you see, throw me a thumbs up and subscribe. Always appreciated. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.